The epic and unbeatable at Scrabble. The nerds with attitude!
I think we can all learn something from what happened in Harlem. Together, we're stronger. And that having your own neighborhood Spider-Man is pretty great.
Looking good, Haley. This is where we come from, yeah, we did it. City on my back, I'm committed. This is where we come from, yeah, we made it. Now the whole team celebrating. We like, one, two. Forget the things you probably thought you knew. A new day is approaching, turn the gray skies into blue. I grew up on these same lines, school of hard knocks. Had to get it on a hard time, took the hard shots, but we made it. Anticipated, highly decorated. The whole team is winning, celebrated. Man, what's up? The victory is all mine. I'm all right, man. I'm good. And everything's I'll see you around. All right.
Oh, well, it is just me and you. We talk about this game. Did you platinum it?
No, I'm working on it right now.
What else are you missing?
I'm
the postcards now. I'm assuming because you just got the post. You just beat the game, right?
Yeah, I finished the postcard thing. Oh my god,
that was so. Oh man, that was so heartwarming, man.
That was heavy, bro.
The voice actor of Miles, he is so good at showing emotion. Good. He is so good.
All the stuff I need to do is mostly New Game Plus stuff.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, visit.
As soon as I beat it, I immediately played New Game Plus. I was like, this is a trophy? Oh, okay, I'm about to play this. And I 100%ed that too.
This game is ridiculously fun.
I just wish it was longer. That's all I do.
Yeah.
I wish it was longer. So we're going to talk about Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. You already know. I mean, as you heard, like the first 3 minutes of this is Shin the Hero with
OldHunterRage. Isaac, what's up?
Yep, and at the time of this recording, November 15th is actually my birthday, so happy birthday to me. But,
old man.
Anyway, we're gonna be talking about Miles, and we're gonna be spoiling the hell out of this game. So, like, if you ain't played it, or you care about spoilers and all this junk, we will tell you this straight up. At least for me, I played the game, like you've heard, I played it twice in one sitting. I love it. It is a great game. 15 out of 10. I will recommend. Though I will say this, it should have been like a $40 game for how short it is. It is very short. It is very short. If you're just doing the story itself, or you don't care about getting collectibles and stuff, and that's not your ordeal, you're looking at about maybe 3 hours worth of gameplay. Or at least the story, anyway. It is very short. Isaac, quick thought before we get into the spoiler stuff.
I just want to say Miles is the physical manifestation of jazz when he swings. That's all I'm gonna say. I'll get into that soon.
That's a physical, man. And well, if you're leaving, thank you for listening. Like, favorite, subscribe, all that YouTube junk. And thank you for listening to the N.W.A. Nerds with Attitude. Now, for all those who are still here and want to hear our good thoughts on Miles Morales, Spider-Man, PS4, because we didn't get it on PS5 because we don't have money like that.
Yep.
We're about to start. I mean, I hear it's really good. It looks really pretty on PS5, but I don't really care. Nah,
which is really saying something because it looks great on PS4.
Yeah, it does. It does.
It looks ridiculous.
Yeah, it does. Let's get the elephant out the room real quick though. When Peter took off his mask in the beginning of the game, I was like, "Who the fuck is that?" Boy, that threw me. I was like, "They used the remastered face in this? Really?"
Yep.
Oh man, it just looks so bad. Is not.
That's probably why they announced that they were doing a face change. Because imagine they didn't say anything, and then people started playing this, and Peter takes off his mask, and you're like, "Wait a second, who is that?" An imposter. It's Ben Riley.
Right? Man, Miles looks older than him, and that's not how it should be. That right there, that threw me for a loop right there. I was like, what the fuck is this? That's not right. That's not right at all. But
yeah, it just looks weird.
I still don't understand why they changed the voice, why they recast that man, but whatever, I guess. You still delivered a great game.
Yes, absolutely.
Did the two new costumes come out also for first Spider-Man? The Henshin one and the other one?
They did for the remastered version, but
it's only for
game. Yeah, the original game is getting an update around Thanksgiving or so that's going to put them in.
Okay. Wow. Well then, that's unfortunate. I was gonna play that Spider-Man too. Anyway, the Henshin guy. Speaking of suits, and let's go into this. First, we'll go into our top 5 favorite suits. Before we go, what was the suit you stayed in the entire game? Your numero uno, number 1 favorite suit. First, give me your list of your top favorite. Any order, no particular order, anything like that. But your favorite 5 suits, the best suits that out of the 19 that you like.
Let me just get this one out of the way. The 2099 suit for Miles Morales is definitely the best one in this game because this suit is badass. And then once I unlocked it, I love the suit to death. The 2020 Daft Punk suit, so cool looking.
It grew on me after I unlocked it. Once I unlocked it and saw it in motion, it grew on me.
Yes, in motion it looks incredible. I like how the eyes blink and stuff. They put so much personality in every one of these suits. The Purple Rain suit actually grew on me.
Yes! I really like that one too.
That one's really cool, especially the green glow on his boots. That's cool.
I was in that suit when I fought. Prowler.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm gonna do that this time. The cat suit, because I love cats, and the cat wearing a Spider-Man mask is one of the best things I've ever seen in my life.
I'm not a cat guy, but if I ever got a cat to wear a Spider-Man mask like that cat, that would be the greatest cat in life.
And my last one, I'd have to say the strike suit, because this thing just looks so not Spider-Man-y.
That is a Kamen Rider suit.
Absolutely. Right down to the big gauntlets with a giant spider on it. Yeah, that's... Actually, you know what? I'm putting this suit on right now. All right. Yep.
Well, my favorite suits, my favorite 5, or at least the ones that I swap back and forth, was Miles' homemade suit. He has Tim's.
That suit is whack.
He has Tim's on.
I couldn't believe that one when I saw it.
Oh man, I don't know I'm a sucker for red and black in general, but I don't know what it is about this suit. I just love this suit. He has Timbs on.
Man, can you imagine getting kicked by these things?
Right?
Oh, this man giving people brain damage out here. Well, he's probably already giving them brain damage.
Yeah, with some of the things he was doing.
Yeah.
We'll get into that. The strike suit, I like the strike suit. That's when I first unlocked that. That was the one I was wearing the entire time up until I got the 2099 suit, and I cannot wait. And this suit is so dope. I don't know why it is so dope, but it's so dope. I guess it's the hood and everything, but the 2099 suit, like I told you before, the only thing it's missing is a cape. But but I liked it even more. And the moment I unlocked that one, that was the suit I was in no matter what. Besides the N suit, which I like the N suit. I like how they made it like the Last Stand suit, kind of. Like they were giving him a lot of hoodie outfits and like combat boots as well.
Yeah, that seems to be Miles' thing.
Which is fine. I really want that hoodie though from the
I
end.
know.
I really want that one. And I would have to say my last suit is probably the cat suit. I mean I like the Uptown Proud suit too. With the yellow and black. The one when you finish all the app activities.
Oh, the Black Lives Matter suit.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But like, I like that one too. But the cat suit, the reason why I like this cat suit is when you do a takedown, the cat comes out the bag and hits the bad guy too with you. I was like, what? This is amazing.
It's teamwork.
And it's so funny because I played it. I had the cat suit on at the beginning of the game when I replayed it, and riding on Rhino or in cutscenes with that backpack on, you just see the cat popping out and just coming out in serious cutscenes. And when you was riding on Rhino, the cat's out there like, woo, let's go. I was like, come on, man, dope.
That
This
cat was
man-
having a good old time.
That man let this man, his cat, Spider-Man, be with Spider-Man. And it just was, but it was the part where you first fight Rhino in the beginning. And when you get thrown through the wall, I was like, well, cat's dead.
Yeah, cat's dead.
I was like, oh no, cat's dead. Oh man, that we'll get into that one too. But I'm assuming 2099 Miles Morales suit is your favorite suit.
It's either that or I'm really gonna have to go with like the 2020s. This one, I knew I was gonna like it, but seeing it in motion and especially at night, where his like fingers and shoes glow and stuff.
Yeah.
Also, this is a quick thing with the 2099 suit. After I updated the game, his eyes are always smoking.
Yeah. His eyes was always smoking. When I had the suit too, it's
That's so cool.
Yeah. It's an effect with the 2099 itself, with the original 2099 suit.
Oh,
Which
I have to
no,
say,
go.
I don't think Miles has a bad suit in this game, honestly.
I was about to ask, which suit is your least favorite suit?
If I had to pick one, I'd probably say like the spider training suit that you get.
I love that suit.
I mean, that's the thing. I'm saying it's not a terrible suit. It's Miles wearing regular clothes with a Spider-Man mask. You know, that's about
that
it.
suit. Oh, that one. I thought you was talking about Spider-Man Junior suit.
Oh, that one. Peter Wilde, bro. He gave him a suit with little knee pads and elbows. Peter knew exactly what he was doing. He's like, I'm gonna make this dude look like a chump before I leave town. Oh man, it's awesome.
I'd have to say the programmable matter suit. I didn't really like that one. That's probably my least favorite one. That and the Michael Jackson one. Didn't really like
the Michael Jackson one's so good.
I don't really. It looks so leathery, and I don't understand how you can move in that suit.
The programmable matter one. As soon as I put that one on, I was like, this looks bizarre. And then I did a takedown. Did you see the thing he does during a takedown?
No.
He grows iron spider legs out of his back for some of the
Really?
takedowns. Yes.
Oh, wow. I might have to put on that suit. I wonder if all the suits have like special looking takedowns.
I don't know. As far as I can tell, so far it's the cat suit and it's the programmable matters. I haven't seen any other ones, and I've seen almost every takedown at this point.
Okay, that's cool. I mean, and also props to Asamiak for having the time and care to put every suit in the cutscenes, especially with him unmasked and everything.
Oh yeah, now, that takes a lot of effort.
Yeah, not every suit has like the battle damage thing. Not every suit gives you battle damage, especially towards the end of the game. But you do get, it does get messed up in a little bit. It doesn't just blow off like at the end of the game. But moving back, let's go with just the story. We'll go into the story and then, characters and all that stuff. How did you feel about the story?
I liked it. I like the more personal stories, and it seems to be a theme. Well, it's definitely a theme in Spider-Man. The closest people to him turn out to be
villains. Yeah,
the villains.
There's a run-in-the-mill Spider-Man story type.
It's cool because they really hit home the idea of being a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He still goes around the city and does stuff, but he's like really focused on keeping Harlem safe because that's where he lives.
Yeah.
So I like that aspect of the story. I like his dude. I was so scared when his uncle showed up. I was like, please don't die. He already lost his dad. I was so scared for his uncle. I was scared for his mom because his mom almost ate it too. I was like,
yeah, I don't think they were gonna be like that heartless because in the original Michael Bendis run of Miles Morales Spider-Man, he had one parent majority of the time. Well, before his mom died, he would, after his mom died, he at least had one parent. And yeah, sure, he did kill his uncle, and it's routine that his uncle is always the one to die. But just like Uncle Ben, but I feel like they're gonna make him stay. And I think in like sequels of this, the uncle is probably going to be his sidekick or another mentor. Because in the main universe, the Prowler actually is a good guy. And he filled in with Spider-Man a couple of times. As Spider-Man as a couple of times. So that's what I feel like is going to happen. At least that's what should happen. Especially with some of the gameplay.
I could see that happen.
Which we'll get to that in a minute. I just kicked myself. Man, I was so absorbed in the game. I knew the Tinkerer from the trailers and everything. I knew the Tinkerer was a girl. But I just thought they were going to make like a brand new character. And it did not dawn on me until we saw Finn. Yeah, sure. It's obvious. It's an obvious trope. Whatever the new person you see has to be the villain. Has to be the bad guy or something like that. But it did not dawn on me the moment I saw her name, because you see her name beforehand, like Finn Mason, and it didn't dawn on me. I'm like, Finn Mason. wait, I know they gender bent Tinkerer, but Phineas Mason, son of a bitch, it was in my face the entire time. I was so angry at myself. I was like, why didn't I pick this up? Her name is just short of Phineas.
It's funny because when I started New Game Plus, I just got past the part where she shows up for the first time.
Yeah.
And as soon as she showed up, I was like, yeah, she's Tinkerer, because this is usually how it works. But the thing that I just noticed, she's wearing purple the whole time. Like, there it is.
Yeah.
She's Tinkerer.
Yeah. I mean, granted, they weren't trying to hide the fact that, because you get it, like, almost first 10 minutes of the game. You get the reveal of, like, the first 10 minutes of the game. If that.
Yeah.
So they weren't trying to hide it or anything like that. Not like Arkham Knight was. But, yeah, they weren't trying to hide it. So that was pretty cool. Was your game buggy though? I'm gonna get it. My jump was super buggy in the beginning.
Boy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was pretty buggy.
And towards the end, it was buggy as hell.
It was not horrible at the beginning, but it got disgusting towards the end.
Yeah, like it was getting really unbearable towards the end. I had to restart the game multiple times towards the end.
Yeah,
of the game.
It crashed on me 4 times if I remember correctly.
I was web swinging and I web swing through a building. Sometimes in the encounters where you were like in the beginning of the game where you got to get Teal's cat, and you're in that little room with the bad guy with all the guys. One guy, because I beat up everybody. Well, kill is the right word. How hard this man Miles be hitting people. With his electric powers and stuff, like some of those dudes are dead. But one of the guys, they were stuck in a box, and I couldn't get to them. They were stuck in a box, and I was like, "What the hell, guy? Get out the box and fight me!" And then after like 20 minutes, he got the little sign over his head where he don't see you, even though I was standing right in front of the box. So I just silently took down him. I was like, really?
Wow. Yeah. It feels like this game it's probably buggy because this is, I wouldn't say it's a port of the PS5 version, but it's definitely like downscaled to fit on PS4. And it didn't go too well at some point. No. Like, especially, what's the one, the Venom dash? Yeah. If you do, it's like the camera goes all over the place.
Yes.
I don't know where I am.
Or when you go into civilian mode, there was times where I went into civilian mode. Like, for instance, that feast mission where they got kicked out and you go meet in Miles' form.
Right.
He had no body. It was just his head. He had no body. I was talking to Gloria just as a head. I was in the park as a head, helping people as a head. And then when I got into my suit, my body came back. I was like, what the world is going on?
The game was just trying to tell you Miles does not exist anymore. There is only Spider-Man. That's so weird. I didn't get one that bad. I think the closest thing I got was, it froze up during combat. I had to restart it, or the Venom dash threw the camera all over the place. There was something else. Man, I was chasing a car. And the car drove outside of a building.
Yeah, I know. You told me that. I was like, man, I wish you had that on video.
It's like, oh, wow, that's a new one. I've never seen that one before. Because they like, you know how when you find the car, it starts to drive around corners. And it turned a corner, but there was no corner. It turned into a building. And it went through the building, and the cop car went around, I kid you not, went around the building. That's what I was thinking. I was like, this can't be a glitch. This has to be intentional. There's somebody in that car that's doing this. And it was a glitch the whole time, so.
The only other glitch I also ran into is like where times where you were doing combat, for some reason the camera went super close to you, and like it was like right on your back. And when I did takedowns, I didn't see the people when I did the takedowns. He was just jumping around. And or when you went into like the cinematic like takedown things, like towards the end of the game when you fight Finn, like I didn't see Finn like at all. But I was hitting her, but I didn't see her. I just was like, wow, this is great. This is just great. Yeah, the bugs are really great. We're really bad, but like besides that, the beginning of the game, I would have to say when you're playing with Peter, as Spider-Man and y'all taking out Rhino, that was the best opening I've ever seen.
Yes, that opening was so hype. It was ridiculous.
And I hope the second game is co-op.
I hope the second game is just more of that, yeah.
You get because for instance, where he left Miles to take down the bad guys and then he went to fight Rhino or to control Rhino. If it was co-op, one person could be fighting the raft dudes while the other person was taking on Rhino.
Yep.
Or that fight when you're in the middle when you fight with the Prowler and you're fighting everybody with the Prowler and everything. That's a co-op fight right there. You could have did co-op right there. It was freaking amazing. I really hope it might be co-op, because that beginning of the game was just awesome. It was really awesome. And every time he was unlocking his new powers, that was awesome too. For instance, the bridge thing. I get why they did the bridge. They always got to do some kind of epic Spider-Man moment.
Yeah, of course.
But when those guys came up on them and was about to shoot him, he could have just fell off the bridge and then web swinged away instead of turning invisible. But the turning invisible is great too. That's great.
Speaking of the invisible thing, that I kept forgetting that I could turn invisible during this game. I'd be like fighting all these dudes. I'm like, dang, I have to get these stealth takedown achievements for this mission. I don't remember. Wait, I can turn invisible. Oh my god!
I'm not gonna lie, I was forgetting about the Venom power. Not gonna lie, I was forgetting about that. Especially the ground smash one, the dash, and then the evil explosion one when he just explodes everything.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like that and the invisibility makes you broke.
Yes,
he is hella overpowered.
Miles is it's so immediately like evident how much stronger Miles is than Peter.
What
it's like Miles just got a cheat code for himself.
Yeah. Power wise, yeah, he is way more powerful than Peter. But like I think power, like strength wise, because he don't hit as hard as Peter does. Because some of those brutes, it takes a minute for you to take down brutes, and you can't web up and throw brutes because they always break out on my webs and stuff. Peter, he was throwing brutes around like ragdolls.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And granted, Peter has more experience and stuff like that, but like some of his tech things, once I got the Prowler's little mine things, those things were OP. I ended so many boss fights with that.
Yep.
The moment I got those, I was like, these are at first I thought the shadow clones were gonna be great. Were gonna be my favorite gadget. Nope. Those mines, you could throw them on people, hit L3, boom, they're dead. And then shock other people around you. I did that the first time because there's stages when you fight Finn the first time, not the first time, the last boss fight. When you fight her, there's stages. That first stage, I threw one bomb, we were done.
Wow.
Yeah, I threw one bomb at her. We went into the cutscene. I threw another one. We went into the cutscene. I threw the third one. We went into the cutscene, and then we get into the very end where she's throwing the little razor disc things at him.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh wow, this boss fight's way more easier than I thought.
Because you're overpowered. My favorite gadget turned out to be the gravity well. Where that was a good gadget. Sucks everybody into one spot.
Yeah.
It's almost like I had a method in the first game where I would uppercut somebody and then wet bomb them. I called it the disco ball method. But now I have the gravity well. It sucks everybody into one spot, and then I do the ground and pound. Boom. It's mostly, it doesn't really do all that much damage. It's just like visually ridiculous, so I liked it.
Besides web slinging and the gameplay being awesome and whatnot, what is your favorite moment in the game? Like boss fight, chase scene, whatever, what have you. What was your favorite part in the game?
I think I have two. One is the part, it's at the beginning with Miles and Peter, and it's like a very small moment where Peter's like, hey Miles, I'm gonna need you to take over real quick, and Miles is like, all right, and he webs himself to Rhino's back and is getting, dragged across the street, and it's that really like slow-mo moment where you see Peter on the car, Miles is getting dragged by Rhino, and he's like, go get him, Cowpoke. I love that kind of stuff. I love seeing Spider-Man teamwork. That's what I wanted to see.
Was pretty cool.
The other part was the chase, the Tinkerer chase across the city, where she's like Dragon Ball blowing up stuff on the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love chase scenes in Spider-Man games, if they're done correctly. That is. But that one was done correctly. Yeah, I would have to say those two moments, as well as Peter drinking coffee upside down.
And then Miles
was like, "How are you doing that?" And he started choking. He's like, "That's so great." Of course, the what was it? Miles' dad's scavenger hunt is another really good moment.
That is a great moment. That was such a sweet moment right there.
Yeah.
I almost shedded a tear right there, man. I was like, oh man, that was great. That was great.
I was crying.
Oh man, did you find the Stan Lee statue?
No, I have to go find it. I heard it somewhere. I didn't look up where it was.
It's do you want me to tell you?
Sure.
It's where the diner and went where Peter and MJ went, where you see Stan Lee's cameo.
Oh, okay.
It's where that diner is. That's all I'll tell you. I won't tell you exactly where it is, but it's right next door to the diner. It's a gold or bronze statue of him.
I will go find.
There's also another thing in the graveyard where you pay your respects to your dad. Finding the grave is a bitch, but you do get a trophy, and his grave is up there.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I have to go do. That's probably next after I finish.
I mean, there's so many great moments in this game, but I probably have to, if I gotta narrow it down, I like you. It's in the beginning of the game, but it's not that part with the Spider-Man teamwork. Well, I guess it is when you're running through the mall, and then JJ is in the Santa outfit, and then Rhino runs through the set, and his father and Peter father's like, "Hey, hi, blah." That felt so like a cartoon moment. I was like, "Oh man, that's the greatest thing ever."
I love that kind of stuff.
All they had to do was like slow that down to get like his reaction face, and like pause on it, and then let all of it go back through. Oh man, it would have been great. But I think my favorite fight probably is when you fight the Prowler, when you fight your uncle.
Oh, as soon as that part came up, I was like, "Oh no, please don't make me have to fight him." And then it started.
Yeah, I like. So we getting into this. I feel like one. Everybody knows Miles is Spider-Man now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Everybody knows.
Everybody knows. Also, that deaf girl can get it. Anyway.
She is incredibly attractive. I can't lie. You're right.
Did you see how thick she is, though?
When you texted me that, I was like, "She can't possibly be that thing." And then I got to her mission, and I was like, "Oh my god."
They knew what they were doing.
Babe, if you're listening to this, I do love you. I promise.
But besides all that, I feel like a lot could have been like how Gantcat said, "Why don't you just tell her you're Spider-Man?" And then he tells her anyway. And it's a very funny moment after the end of that chase. It was like, "Because my mom would be really angry." It's a very funny moment. It's very serious and funny at the same time. But I was like, that's such a Spider-Man thing to do.
Yep.
But I feel like a lot of stuff could have been cleared up if he did tell her. Also, do you think the Prowler was in the wrong? Aaron was in the wrong. Where because you saw he genuinely wanted to keep his nephew safe. And he was doing it the best way he knew how to keep him locked up. Granted, he went at it at a wrong way, but do you think he was in the wrong? Do you think Miles handled it wrong? Or do you agree with how Miles handled it, or how they wrote the scene and everything?
It's weird because at the moment when Rhino shows up at the church and everything, and I found out that Prowler sold or no, he didn't really sell out.
No, he didn't. Not Miles anyway. He really was just getting the Tinkerer.
I feel like Aaron could have picked a better moment to catch Tinkerer, especially when Miles wasn't there. But yeah. I understand why he did it, because he knew at that moment, he knew exactly where Tinkerer was going to be. So he had to take advantage of that moment. And I will say, he was like, don't hurt the kid. He's not who you want. You want Tinkerer. If you hurt the kid, that's a whole different story. But I feel like Miles did what he thought was right, so I can't really fault him for that. It's really a trial and error type of thing. Because Aaron did give him advice. He was like, don't take the mask off and don't trust anybody. And usually when people say that, they want you to make an exception for them because they're saying it. But no, you also don't trust them, because that's solid advice, especially as a superhero who has to keep himself secret. It's not a secret that much anymore. All of Harlem knows at this point.
Yeah, at least all the side characters that you helped and everything.
Yeah. But I don't think Miles is wrong in it. I think they both were right and wrong at the same time to themselves. Does that make sense? Yeah. It definitely could have gone a little bit easier.
Yeah, I do.
It's funny how many things could be avoided if people just talked. It's ridiculous.
I don't I like as an uncle myself, I don't disagree with Aaron's decision. He went about it at a wrong way, but at the same time, I feel like the way Miles kind of like blew up and then initiated the fight and everything, because Miles initiated the fight. Aaron didn't want to fight. Miles initiated the fight, and the way he kind of, I feel like he was. I know he was trying to be Spider-Man, and I know that saving the New York, protecting New York was his job. Is his duty as Spider-Man and everything. But I feel like he was so caught up, I guess, emotionally, he couldn't see, even though it wasn't the best way, his uncle still had his best interest in for Miles, because he even said it. He was like, I'm not gonna bury another family member.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I don't necessarily disagree, but I don't agree with how it got handled. But everything got squashed at the end. They all forgave each other, and then Aaron went to jail with a lighter sentence. And I think when he gets out of jail, he's going to probably be the Prowler good guy version.
I hope so. That'd be nice. Oh, it also makes me think of the whole thing with Miles throughout the story is, he has to handle the responsibility of being Spider-Man number one.
Yeah.
But he's trying to model himself so much to be how Peter was being Spider-Man.
Yes.
And the whole model of the whole slogan of the game is be yourself.
Be yourself.
You have to. Yeah. He has to be his own version of Spider-Man. He can't. Peter is a certain version of Spider-Man, but he's been cultivating that image for like 9 years at this point, if I remember correctly. And Miles is new to this, so he has to be looked at differently. You can't. If all the Spider-Men were the same, there'd be no use for multiple. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, let me move into a segue about Finn. Do you think Finn's whole crusade against Roxxon and everything was the right way to go? Do you agree with Finn or do you disagree with Finn? And do you like how they kind of closed out her story? I think they went, and me personally, I feel like they went the coward way, and by killing her, giving her a hero's death like that, even though she wasn't listening to reason at all throughout the movie, throughout the game.
I get where Finn is coming from. I understand, because Roxxon is directly responsible for her brother's death, and they covered it up. That's terrible. There's no, ifs, ands, or buts about it. But my problem with Finn during this game was she got mad at Miles for keeping the secret that he's Spider-Man when she kept the secret that she was Tinkerer and almost killed his mom.
Yeah.
And she's more angry about that. And it's just like, it felt hypocritical watching it during the game. And then Miles didn't really help it he never called her out on that. I don't remember him calling it.
No, he never did.
He just kept saying, look, I'm sorry, no more secrets. And then he tells her, and she's still angry that he didn't tell her sooner when she never planned to tell. He had to find out at the bridge that she was Tinkerer.
Yeah.
She probably wasn't going to tell him in the first place.
At all.
Unless he did he's going to join the Underground. But the only reason he joined the Underground was because he knew she was Tinkerer. So there was no opportunity for him to find out by her telling. But I mean, I get where Finn's coming from, and there were definitely other ways to go about it that didn't have to end with her dying in what can only be seen as the Superman holding a nuke moment from The Dark Knight Returns.
The way she went out and exploded, I was like, what? What is this?
It's like, really? All you had to do, I feel like it would have been a lot easier, because I'm surprised Miles survived that fall. I mean, he's okay with the explosion. That fall was ridiculous. It was so high, and he came down so fast and just crashed. I'm surprised he didn't get impaled or anything.
He was taking a beating throughout this game.
Yes.
And I just was like, why are you still standing? You got a healing factor, but it's not like no Wolverine healing factor. You shouldn't be getting up after this. But like, I mean, Finn is a tricky character, because the way they were talking, making it seem like it wasn't like she was a love interest. It was like she was a sister to him.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like she would have known better, even though Miles, lied about that one thing. But there was things he was trying to tell her, which he should have just spit out. Like when he found all that information on the Roxxon guy, whose name I forget. When he found all that information before the Rhino fight, and he was finna get all of that, there was another thing right there. If he just spit it out right then and there, or granted, I get Rhino egged her on and almost died, and then she beat the snot out of that man, and then threatened to kill him after that point. And then his mom finds out, which I knew his mom was gonna find out eventually, because his mom finds out in the comic before she dies, actually.
Right.
Though in the comic they make it seem like she always knew he was Spider-Man.
Well, you know, poor Miles doesn't do a very good job at keeping the secret.
Well, look, to his credit, he did keep the mask on. There was just times where he got beat up, he needed gank, he got home, mom was home, saw him with the suit on. What you gonna do? He was already beat up. What you gonna do? When all of Brooklyn saw him, he had to take the mask off so he can save Finn before they fell.
Yeah, true.
And then even if he didn't take the mask off, it was gonna blow off of him anyway when he was absorbing all that energy and everything. So half his costume was off of him and everything. So it's not like he just came out like, "Ha, I'm Spider-Man." It's not like he came out and did that. It was just kind of circumstances happened to him.
It's funny. Speaking of the moment where he starts absorbing all the energy from the huge reactor, that was the moment they used in the first trailer.
Yeah, the very first trailer. Yeah,
that's bold. Well, like, you know, context is everything. So just seeing that in the trailer was like, okay, this is kind of cool.
Yeah,
and now you see it, you're like, dang, they were showing the end of the game.
Yeah. They were. Were there any characters that you liked? Or disliked? Side characters, main characters?
I really like Genki.
Oh man, Genki is he is the best.
He's so cool. He's such like, you want Genki to be your guy in the chair. Like, Genki is the perfect sidekick or assistant or whatever you want to call it.
Genki is Richie from the Static Shock cartoon.
Yes.
He's just Richie from the Static Shock cartoon. That's exactly who Genk is. He helped make his suit. He helped make this cool app and everything. He's with them and everything. He is the best Alfred anybody could ask for. Next to Alfred.
I don't really think there were any characters I didn't like, because I feel like everybody did a good job as the characters they were supposed to be. Mm-hmm. There's a strange, when I saw Simon Krieger, you know, the Roxxon dude.
That's his name. Yeah. He's not important. Anyway. Okay.
I'm not the only person that thinks he looks like the guy who played Eddie Brock in Spider-Man 3, right?
He does. He does look like Topher Grace.
I looked at him, I was like, wait a second, who is that?
But I think they tried to model him after the person who's voiced that, or who's voicing him. That's who I think.
Simon Krieger, does he become like a super villain? Who's Mr. Sinister? Is that somebody else?
That is somebody else.
That's somebody else.
That is not Krieger.
What? There's a company that has Mr. Sinister, and I can't remember what the company was.
It's not
Roxxon, is it?
No, it's not Roxxon. I can't think of it. I will think of it. I mean, you got Google. We got Google. But
I'm getting ready to look it up right now.
I can't think of it. But Roxxon is a big thing. I want to say he's a low budget villain, but he's like a one-off villain, like Hammer is.
Yeah.
Just the Hammer is. But I can't fully remember. There's a lot of Spider-Man lore into this. And Miles's room when you get his room after everything gets out and then it's his room, it's dope. That's like a love letter to his room. To just being black and Mexican at the same time, Latina and black at the same time. That's just that is just great. It's great. There was so much ethnicity in this game, dude.
There's so much like personality and
with the street art.
They put so much like heart into this game. It's crazy. It's funny because I love the first game. I don't know if I would say this one's better. And the only reason I wouldn't say it's better is because this one's so short. Yeah. Otherwise, I enjoy playing as Miles more than I do Peter.
Yeah. Miles does have a style to him. I do give you that. He does have a style to him, which you can elaborate on this jazzy website you was talking about.
Okay, Peter is like, when he swings, he's very calculated. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's been doing it for 8 years, so I don't know if it's like extremely fun for him anymore. He just has to, if he's got to go somewhere, he's going to do it in the most, the quickest and most efficient way to get there. Miles is all over the place when he's swinging. Like, his arms are flailing, he's diving backwards. When he does like the corner turn when he's running along a wall, he pulls the wall, so he like does a spin when he comes around. Sorry for the technical difficulty. Anyway, when Miles turns the corner, spins, and he has like how Peter has the air tricks and stuff in the first game.
Miles has tricks.
Yes, his tricks are way better. He's got tricks for like just the regular ones, and then if you go into like a dive, he also has tricks for that. Which, did you know that?
Yeah, I knew that.
He does like the Into the Spider-Verse with his hands behind his head and such. But the thing that I really liked about the air tricks in particular was when he does a certain trick, he has an animation to swing out of it.
He does.
That's like I love that kind of stuff because it shows the actual transition. And then he's always doing all these crazy poses because of it, which, as a avid lover of photo mode, I greatly appreciate. Because I always got like the same 3 poses with Peter in photo mode. So, and then it's like, it feels like Miles is way quicker.
Miles is. It does feel like Miles is way faster than Peter is.
It's like crazy, and
it might be because he's younger.
Different.
It might be because he's younger, but he does feel different than Peter does when he's swinging. Like, because I was realizing, like, man, I'm picking up speed way faster than I do with Peter. Even if you lose speed, you pick speed up just like that. And even the fluid motions and stuff when you're fighting and everything, in battle, when you're fighting and everything, it's just like he seems way more faster than Peter does.
And it's like, it not only does it look different and it feels different, it feels extremely different with the controller. Because did I already get this part?
No.
Okay. This is probably the part that got cut out too. With the controller, it feels like it vibrates for everything. Like there's like a subtle vibration when he shoots the web out, but then you can feel it vibrate again when the web line attaches. Mm-hmm. So, and then it's like a subtle vibration when he goes through the swing, but a big one when he shoots off. And all of that goes hand in hand to, you know, making you feel like you're going way faster than you were before. You know, his diving animation shows like how different he is, because Peter, you know, has his hands back. He looks like a bullet when he's diving. Miles has his arms out like he's an eagle. You can tell he loves doing this. Miles is having so much fun, and I'm glad they put that in this. Because Miles swings like I hope I would swing if I was Spider-Man. Something close to that, you know. Especially being he's like 1 year into doing this, so he's still having
fun,
obscene amounts of fun doing all this. Peter might still have fun. I don't know. He has to tell us that, because Peter doesn't like it. Peter doesn't show emotion that well, especially with this new face. We don't know how to read his face yet. But it's so much fun, because it was weird with the first Spider-Man game when that one came out. I did the web swinging. I played it for about a year, almost every night for 20 minutes, just swinging, because that would help me go to sleep. It was like really relaxing. Miles doesn't relax me. It makes me want to go out and do something.
I very rarely use the subway for this. The quick pass, I very rarely did it.
I've used it, I think, maybe 2 to 3 times, and the subway thing is actually really funny, because he's trying to convince people that he's Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah. And he's in the middle doing flips and stuff. It's funny as hell with the cat suit on.
Oh man, I have to try that.
It's funny as hell with the cat suit on. But yeah, the game. There's just so much attention to detail in this game. It's just great. JJ versus Dankus podcast. Did you like JJ, or did you turn off JJ and just listen to Danica? You just listen to her. Then
I still have both of them turned on, because JJ always makes me laugh. I think one of the funniest moments with him was he's like, "Now you know I don't like to spread conspiracies." Like, boy, that's all you do. What are you talking about? You love conspiracies. What are you talking about? Yeah, Jared. I feel for Jared, man. I can't even imagine his like stress levels having to work with JJ every day. But yeah, I keep JJ on because I think he's hilarious, and I want to see how he could possibly spin it around to Spider-Man being the bad guy for something. And then I like Danica's podcast because she's so positive. She really cares about what's going on in the city. All she wants to do is help. And she has a nice little story arc with her taking her citizenship test and such. Yes. And that's just wholesome. I like listening to that kind of stuff.
I also like her in things like don't forget to change your toothbrush every 3 months. What?
Yeah. She always adds in like a little quick fact. It's like the equivalent of how game show hosts are like, don't forget to spay and neuter your pets, and then the show ends.
She is probably gonna be. I don't know, because it kind of was like, because she did ask him to go get coffee or something like that, but it feels like she's gonna be like his MJ, because she has reporter vibes just like MJ does in this universe.
That's true.
So she might be his MJ or Gank's MJ. Who knows?
I could see. So I think Miles is going to be with the deaf girl, Haley.
Yeah, I mean that man had hoes. Let's just say that.
Yeah. Oh, the big difference. Why I love this game so much. There's no screwball. Thank God. Oh.
Speaking of, we didn't see a lot of villains from that. I mean, you do fight Vulture or simulation of Vulture.
Yeah.
And you get that quick cameo of Kingpin, who I think is going to be a big deal in the second game. And but we never, unless I highly doubt it was Kingpin. And I played the game twice. Unless I missed this, we never get the person who's backing the underground.
I think they said it was Kingpin.
Was it Kingpin? I thought it wasn't Kingpin. I thought it was Kingpin. I thought the whole Kingpin thing was all the robberies and stuff that trying to get everybody out of Harlem. So because he's trying to start back over a little bit, because his empire got knocked down in the first game and everything at the beginning of the first game.
Oh yeah, man.
And they were talking about our backing, our buyer and everything, the main boss guy. And then the Tinkerer went to go talk to somebody, and we never saw that person who she talked to, and we saw that money and everything, and I'm just like, was it Kingpin? Or because I know they were squatting in his original house and all that junk,
right?
But I don't know. There had to have been like, besides, because because when you go into the mission to join the underground, the way Finn was talking, there was somebody higher than her. She wasn't like running the underground. There was a main boss. She was like the second in command or whatnot. Yeah, she was making all the gear, but there was somebody who's bankrolling them, and we don't know who it was.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It might be Kingpin, but like I said, I played the game twice, seen the story. They never really make that clear that it was Kingpin or not.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was Norman Osborn.
Really? Well, yeah, that will go us right into the end credits scene.
Oh my gosh! Oh, I can't wait! Oh,
the end credit scene where we get Norman, we get Kurt.
Yep, I was so hyped when I saw him. I was like,
we're gonna fight the lizard in the second one.
Oh man!
And then we get Harry coming out the tube with some black goo on him. Oh, this is gonna be so good. But the only part I'm scared of is I know what happens when Venom shows up and Miles is around. I don't want his mom to die. Yeah,
I really don't want his mom to die.
I'm more interested in how they're going to spin Venom into this universe. Is Peter going to get the black suit? Is Harry going to stay with the black suit? Or is Miles going to get the black suit?
I don't know. Because the whole thing, I remember when the first game came out, there was an obvious lack of a black suit for Spider-Man. Everybody was like, how can you not give him a black suit? And then people saw the end credits.
End credits, yeah.
So I would assume they're like, the black suit is not something you just give him as an alternate suit. That's like a story beat. So I feel like he might get one. Some of it might get onto Miles. I don't know. It'd be nice to see them both in black suits. I would love that. But Venom-wise, I've never heard of Harry Osborn being Venom. I don't know if that's from the comics or from like a TV show.
Yeah, that's from a TV show. It's not, and there is a different universe where Harry becomes quote unquote Venom. He gets the suit first, but it's more like there's the two popular versions of Venom. He's an alien, and then the other version, the ultimate version, is it was created to be like a extra suit or for the cure stuff like that, but like it got corrupted by Spider-Man's blood, and because Peter and Brock parents, they made Venom. Brock tried to finish it, and then he becomes Venom. Though beforehand, Peter does get the black suit on him. That's the whole why it gets the spider powers, and he can block out his spider senses and all that jazz. But the way it's making it seem like in this, granted, we don't know where the Venom symbiote even came from. We don't know if they made it or it's alien or whatnot. We don't know all that yet. We just know it's connected to Harry, and he's in the tube. With all that being said, I feel like Harry is going to be like quote unquote healed from the disease he had from the suit, and I don't think he's gonna start out as Venom, but something's gonna happen where the suit gets put on Peter, and then Venom happens. Right. That's what I think is gonna happen, because I'm pretty sure they're gonna introduce Brock. I don't think they're gonna have Harry be Venom the entire time, because everybody knows Brock, Eddie Brock. Though they might throw a spin like they did in here, and Eddie might be a girl. They might make Venom a female. I highly doubt they do that. It'll be interesting, and I would love it if they did it, but I don't think they'll do that.
We'll see. I don't know where this is going, but I could see something, because anytime the Osborns show up, I start thinking about the Goblin. So I'm like, Norman looks a little bit too old to be doing all that kind of stuff. But then again, Vulture is like 85 years old and is a cancer patient and has a wingsuit. So, you know, I wouldn't put it past him. I could see Harry coming out of the tube, being healed by the symbiote, and then becoming the Goblin or something like that. It's obvious we're going to get the Lizard at some point. That's exciting.
What I hope, man, that fight is probably going to be ridiculous.
Oh yeah,
the Lizard fight is probably going to be ridiculous, and watch it be in the sword, mocking not necessarily mocking, but being from the animated series. It's probably going to be in the sword. Probably going to have to fight that man in the sword.
And that fight's probably going to have to take 2 Spider-Man.
Yeah, I was getting to that. I was going to get to that. There's a thing that I feel like might happen, where the symbiote suit might heal Harry to the point where he's fine, and it might sense power and whatnot from Peter and attach it to Peter, and to get unknowingly attached to Peter. Peter will be a little bit more aggressive and everything, and Miles, we might get a Spider-Man versus Spider-Man fight. Miles might it might be a boss fight where you have to play as Miles and you have to fight Peter as the black suit with the black alien costume on. And then once that happens and Peter gets his sentence knocked back, then we might get Venom. He'll try to get the suit off, successfully get the suit off. Probably, let's say maybe Harry is getting sick again without the suit. The suit comes back to Harry, and then Harry, because the suit left him, he also hates Spider-Man. And then with that whole knowledge, with the suit that just found out, he finds out that Spider-Man is Peter, and then some reason he hates Peter too, and they become Venom, and then Venom and Peter and Miles would have to fight Venom.
Oh, I would love that.
That's my head canon. That's other cameo. I would like. Even though I don't really care for him, but I wouldn't mind Kraven in this. I could see a Kraven little side story in the second one. I want to see Boomerang.
Well, like I could see Kraven being the same thing as Taskmaster, where he has
that's exactly. Yeah.
But I kind of want to see Boomerang too. I can't lie.
Boomerang. And I kind of want to see Mysterio. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But that's a lot. I think we might not get Venom in the second game. In all honesty, I think there's gonna probably be a different. I would probably say there's probably gonna be a different main villain before we get Venom. They're probably gonna save it for the third game. They're probably gonna hype this up the entire time before we get Venom.
It'll probably be like the symbiote will get on Peter, and we get the black suit in the second game, but we don't get Venom until the third game.
Yeah. Do you just before we get into the Scourge and everything? Do you think Miles is gonna get a second game?
Yeah, I think so. I hope so. Because this feels like it's the same thing how I looked at the Batman Arkham games. Because the first game was great, and then it kept going, and each game it got better and better. They added more stuff. The animations got better and looked greater. The first Spider-Man game was already fantastic. Miles' gameplay put it over the top. Peter's second game is probably going to be outrageous. And I can only see them making another Miles game and it being even crazier. Because he's still learning what the limits of what he can do. And imagine when he gets more experience and controlled. Yeah. Like this man will be could be doing like the one Raikage from Naruto with one finger and like shoots through somebody with lightning. I can't remember what the move was called, like Hellfinger Thrust or something like that.
I know what you're talking about. It's that lariat thing. I know what you're talking about, yeah.
If I see Miles do a lightning lariat on somebody, I will throw my controller and scream probably. It's gonna be so funny. I'm sure he'll get it.
Do you let me ask you this before we get into scores? Do you think this is a good? It's not technically a sequel, but do you think this is a good successor from the first game too?
Yes, I would say.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get into the scores. Before we get into the scores, allow me to tell you what the GameStop score right now is a 4.5 out of 5. And then the Metacritic score, it has a 85, but the user score is like a 97%.
Yep, that sounds about right.
So a lot of people are loving this game. A lot of people aren't really. I know we didn't even delve upon the music or anything like that. Especially when you web swing in, how it goes into the hip hop beat and all that.
Oh. The music in this game is so good. I don't even like. I'm not a rap person. I like heavy metal music and such. But this, I can't lie. This game had me vibing while I was web swinging. I was like, ooh, you know how you get the stank face when you hear something really good? Yeah. I had the stank face the whole time.
Oh man. Well, out of 10 Venom punches, because those be killing people, what are you giving this?
An 11.
11 Venom punches.
Yes.
I can't lie, I'm right there. Besides the bugginess in the game, which I really hope they fix that and everything for everybody. and it's being ridiculously short. Even if you do everything, you 100% New York, it still only takes about like 15 hours at max to get everything. I still feel like it should have been a $40 game, maybe even $30 for what you get for everything you do in the game. But at the same time, there's a lot of replayability, especially if you just want a website around.
Yep.
But yeah, out of that, I still, with all those minor, I guess, nitpicks of that, I still would give it a 11 Venom punches out of 10 out of that. And I would recommend this, even if you don't like Spider-Man. This game, it also has such a race message in there too, with the Latino and the black side. You got, and then there's a Black Lives Matter little thing in there. There is a something about Chadwick Boseman at the end of the game. Like there's a lot of love put in this game. And like if you like, I don't even know what you would call it. Is this a platformer, action adventure?
Action adventure, open world action.
Open world, yeah, okay, yeah. If you like those type of games, I would thoroughly say get it. And no matter if it's on PlayStation 4 or PS5, I would say get it, no doubt. And if you're a Spider-Man fan, you should get it, no doubt, no questions, no questions. But I said I hope you guys enjoyed us gushing about Spider-Man Miles Morales, and if you did, give us a like, drop comments and down below, tell us your thoughts on the game, your favorite suits, and give us a subscribe. I was about to say scribble, but that I was berated because I said that. So yeah, not gonna do that again. This is Shin the Hero, aka Walt.
This is OldHunterRage, Isaac.
And also I'm the birthday boy. Peace.